Welcome to Strange But True. Take a breath, slow down, and listen carefully. Some stories are documented, some are debated, some refuse to be explained. We tell you the stories. You decide what's true. Now, let's begin our journey. There's a place where geography creates a natural boundary. To the west, the Caucasus Mountains rise in a continuous formation of rock and elevation. To the east, the Caspian Sea stretches outward, forming a permanent barrier of water. Between them lies a narrow corridor of land, a passage that has existed for thousands of years, a passage shaped not by human decision, but by the physical structure of the earth itself. This corridor became one of the only reliable routes between distant regions. Movement depended on it, trade depended on it, migration depended on it, armies depended on it, because beyond this narrow strip, the surrounding terrain offered few alternatives. Mountains restricted movement in one direction, water restricted movement in the other. This created a point of vulnerability and also a point of control. During the 6th century, a permanent structure was built within this corridor, not to expand territory, but to regulate access. A fortress, positioned with precision, constructed from stone. Its name was Derbent. At its highest point stood a citadel known as Naryn-Kala. From this elevated position, the surrounding land could be observed clearly. Approaching movement could be detected. Distance could be judged. Time could be measured. From the citadel, defensive walls extended outward. One wall moved westward, connecting with the rising mountain terrain. The other moved eastward, descending toward the shoreline of the Caspian Sea. Together, they formed a continuous barrier, a physical connection between natural obstacles, a structure designed to complete what geography had already begun. Towers were built along the walls. Each tower extended observation. Each tower strengthened continuity. Each tower ensured that the barrier remained unbroken. Gates were placed within the walls. These gates did not eliminate the barrier. They controlled it. Movement could be monitored. Movement could be allowed. Movement could be denied. The fortress functioned as more than a defensive structure. It functioned as a permanent checkpoint. Historical records associate its construction with the Sassanid Empire. At the time, maintaining control over territorial access was essential. Distance alone could not guarantee security. Permanent stone barriers could. The narrow corridor at Derbent provided the ideal location. Stone transformed open passage into controlled entry. Stone created permanence. Stone established authority. Over time, the presence of the fortress influenced the surrounding landscape. Settlement developed nearby. Routes formed around its gates. Movement adapted to its existence. The corridor remained open, but it was no longer uncontrolled. Empires changed. Control shifted, but the fortress endured. Its walls remained standing. Its towers remained visible. Its position remained unchanged, because the geography it controlled had never moved. Today, the structure still stands. Its stone walls continue to define the narrow passage between mountain and sea. Its towers still overlook the land below. Its gates still mark the points where movement once passed under observation. The corridor still exists. The geography still shapes movement, and the fortress built to control it remains exactly where it was first placed. A structure built not simply to defend, but to define the limits of passage itself. For centuries, the fortress remained active. Its walls were maintained, its towers were repaired, Its gates continued to regulate movement through the corridor. Travelers approaching the barrier would have seen its outline long before reaching it. Stone rising above the land, walls extending outward toward mountain and sea, a visible signal that this passage was no longer open terrain, but controlled ground. The fortress did not rely on concealment, it relied on presence. Its size made it visible. Its position made it unavoidable. Its design made its purpose clear. Even as surrounding regions changed, the structure remained tied to the geography that defined it. The mountains did not move, the sea did not retreat, and the corridor remained as narrow as it had always been. The fortress continued to occupy the only position where permanent control was possible. Not expanding, not advancing, simply remaining. Exactly where it had always been needed. History has a way of hiding the truth inside what it chooses not to explain. Inside tales, inside myths, inside legends, inside things that feel just a little off. If this story held your attention, subscribe to Strange But True, because sometimes what sounds unbelievable is exactly where the truth hides.